maybe a good way to answer that is to say that there's something that many of us sense as kind of an authentic religious experience, I guess. Contrast that to religion as most of us know it and see it, and how repugnant that is. Which, by the way, that's exactly the experience of Jesus that's presented in the Gospels, is how he was repulsed by religion that had turned in on itself and become sort of ossified and wasn't about real life anymore. That was repugnant to Jesus. I mean, God is a reality that is completely accessible to any person, and feel like we're a part of a mysterious reality that's way beyond us. And the more we spend time with that mysterious reality, it appears to us to be benevolent and pulling us forth to our best selves. That's the experience of God. And that's something that is completely accessible to anyone. You don't have to belong to a religion to get that. You just open yourself up to it. It's immediately available to anyone. And when someone has that, like Jesus did, that was his experience of God, that he was a son of God, and that he walked around just completely connected to this reality that he knew to be God. That was just what freed him up. And then when he saw people turning that reality into something where it was a power thing for them to have power over others, or it meant that they could control others through it, or it meant that people had to go through certain loops or certain hoops in order to be holy or something like that, it just completely turned him off. And it's similar for me. And so what that does is it makes me want to say, no, that's not real religion. Just today I was reading in, when I was praying this morning, this gospel passage from Luke about Jesus healing this woman on the Sabbath, and the religious authorities are saying, you're not supposed to do that on the Sabbath. We have a rule about that. You're not supposed to do it. And he's like, how can there be a rule to not give life to someone on any day of the week? This is ridiculous. But so that was 2,000 years ago, but you still see the same things happening now. It just makes me want to say, no, that's wrong. So that kind of motivates me in that sense. And then also the other thing motivates me because it's a real experience. I want to share it with people. I want them to know that God is completely accessible to anyone. And that when we let that reality be a part of our lives, it kind of does call us to our best selves. And then when we spend time with each other, we sort of keep mirroring that back to each other. And that's what the church is, a place where everyone believes that, and they keep mirroring that love back to each other. But you know what happens when you hold a mirror up to the sun? It just starts a fire. I mean, it gets very dynamic and very exciting when you are comfortable with a group of people who actually love each other. And that was the experience of the early church. The Eucharist is simply breaking bread and sharing it with each other. Somehow in this sharing, we are the reality of Christ right now. We, not just the bread and wine, we are that. So it's every time we share, every time we open ourselves up to each other, every time we're vulnerable to each other, that's when we're participating. All it is life. It's not like religion. It's not like you believe all these things, all these strange things, and then you say, I belong to this religion. No. It's just a matter of opening yourself up to life, and part of life is the reality of God. You can get kind of insular when you do that, and you could start being this little clubby sort of thing, and that's why you need that third leg to make sure that you're doing some kind of service out there, so that you're not just enjoying everybody loving each other. That could be very sort of caught up in kind of a group narcissism. So you don't want that. So in addition, what you need is some kind of effort where you're just simply loving and not getting anything back. You're just going out and serving people who need to be served. That's where this love for each other sort of keeps you from being narcissistic and concerned about what others are going through.